guys, Lee and Michelle Resistance Chicks. It is April 6, 2017. It's a Thursday. Now, I understand a lot of you were like, where are they? You've been gone. Monday and Tuesday and like Wednesday, there was nothing until Wednesday evening in panic. What have we been doing? Here's the thing. We don't just preach all the stuff that we tell you about. We actually live it. And so we had a couple of really busy days. And so we thought that it would be really fun to just kind of give you an update. What were we doing? What were you guys doing when you weren't making videos?
Yeah, Wednesday morning we had our second litter of pigs.
That was Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning? Yeah.
It was Tuesday morning.
So we've got 10 healthy baby piglets.
We woke up to that, actually.
And you were going to bring them up so we can see them.
I am going to. Do you have a Facebook here?
I do.
I sent them all to you.
Awesome. We wanted to take you guys outside. I was trying to figure out how I could take you out there. I
actually love what is going on in this picture. There's a lot of pictures, but this is the only one that I wanted to stop at and analyze. This is from our original litter that you guys all saw.
First one.
Here I'm giving a little back scratch. We're all taking a nap, and I'm literally just sitting on my rump.
They're so cute.
They are absolutely so stinking adorable.
And these 8 little piglets, we might be sending one to Alaska.
Might be mailing them. Apparently you can ship piglets. We didn't know this, but you can ship them. That's the mama that just had the pigs on Tuesday. So here's a little video. I don't know if I can make it. Oh, I can. I can make it bigger.
They're so cute. Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
So this is, again, the original litter that you guys all saw be born. And they are all happy. Everybody's wondering about Pickles. Pickles is doing fantastic.
Look at this absolutely spot on his face.
I know. That's our only male. We had 7 girls and 1 male, which actually, when it comes to pigs,
you want the
sows, you want the girls, because the males often just turn into meat. So that you want the more girls. So when you have a boar, like we do, that throws a lot of females, it's a really good thing. So here we are. They do that a lot. They sit on their little heinies. So here's another video. This one was really fun. I absolutely loved taking this video because they move so fast. They are so stinking fast. It's ridiculous.
Mom's just laying there watching her kids. What a life. Laying there watching your kids play.
I know.
She's in what's it called?
Hog heaven.
Hog heaven.
Absolutely.
She's actually in her little mud pit that they.
Yep. To get cool, she lays in the mud, and everybody's just... So at this point, I say, hey guys, come over. You can't hear this in the volume. I say, come here. And then instead of them coming to me, of course, Mom gets up and she says, well, I would like a belly scratch. And I told her, I said, no, not you, Mom. I was literally laying on my stomach taking this video. I mean, that's... What were you guys doing? It's very, very busy laying out playing with pigs. No, I'm just kidding. We were doing a lot of other important things. But every once in a while, you got to take time out to just go play with piglets. Because that's why.
Can you show the new litter? Do you have any?
I do have some of the new litter. I'm sorry, I'm just obsessed with their playing.
They're so fun.
They're so adorable, and they will play with us if you.
If you sit out there, they'll jump on your back. They'll come and give you nuzzles.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. I'm just gonna go through these kind of fast. Here they are playing. Yeah, I may take a couple of pictures of the pigs, 1 or 2. There I am. They're crawling on top of me here.
That's so cute.
So this is the new litter.
They're a littler because there was more of them.
Yes, there was 11 of these. Unfortunately, we lost one. Literally lost. I think it must have died at some point. She probably buried it.
We're not upset because
she only had 10 teats, and there were 11 piglets, so it's much better this way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like just letting nature take its course. But there they are.
They're so cute.
Just laying in a pile.
These ones have black and white ones.
So after that, we want to show you the pictures of the piglets.
The very day that they were born, we had to leave them because we have some Jewish friends. Oh my goodness, some wonderful conservative, right wing leaning,
very intelligent, very
Tea Party type, and we just love them. We agree with them on everything.
Well, our friend, she has kind of had a miracle. She had a tumor, and it was able to be removed and safely, and it was the way that it was a big miracle. So we in the past had gone to help her during Passover years ago to clean because they do the whole thing, get the crumbs out, and we got to the place in life where it was just too much for us to be able to do that in addition to everything else that we were doing. And because of everything that had happened with what she's gone through, her son Justin contacted us and said, is there any possible way that you guys could help out this year? And actually, there really wasn't any possible way. We have been too swamped, and we were like, you know what? We're going to do this. We made the decision to make the time.
And Justin was actually on Greta Van Susteren because his name was targeted in the Tea Party
by the IRS.
By the IRS, and the question was, what is your relationship with Justin Benedict Thomas?
And this letter was sent out to several people in the Tea Party.
A certain Cincinnati Tea Party, but he wasn't actually part of that particular Tea Party.
Right.
And so he met with Massey and this whole IRS scandal. It's real. And just to plug another piece of news, Judicial Watch just released under FOIA 695 pages more that the Obama administration was covering up and didn't want to get out, that they were targeting. It was known that they were targeting Tea Partiers. And actually what's interesting is the IRS branch that was in Cincinnati has actually been shut down.
And I had to tell y'all something about this, and it was actually in on the northern Kentucky side of I don't know why it was the Cincinnati branch, and but it's Newport, Kentucky is right. The river separates Cincinnati.
Right.
Well, anyway, we used to drive down there, and our uncle who lives with us, we've told you he used to drink and he used to smoke. We would go downtown because alcohol and cigarettes are cheaper down there. So yes, these Christian conservative girls would drive down there and get those.
I'm all about saving money.
And we would drive past this place probably once or twice a month.
Yeah.
And I would pray that building would shut down. And I literally would be like, God, you have to shut that. You have to shut that thing down. You have to shut it down. You have to shut, just because I could feel the evil coming from that IRS building. And then come to find out, it got shut down. Well, I will tell you, that is not the first. I'm not taking complete responsibility for this, but that's not the first time that things have shut down. When we were kids, there was a tarot card palm reading place, and our mom started this thing when we were very young.
We passed it. We start praying over it.
We would start praying over it to shut it down. There have been Hooters that we would pray that would shut down.
It had a fire. No one died, but we would go past it and we would just say, "Shut down in the name of Jesus. Shut it down in the name of Jesus."
And then it shut down. So if you got the power of prayer and it actually shuts down an IRS building, amen. The Lord
There's a lot of people that were praying on that one
our
too.
point is that we wanted to help out our friend, and we were able to go, and we hadn't seen her in so long, and just to kind of catch up, and we told her about the Resistance Chicks because she didn't really know much about what we were doing, and a lot of the things that we had learned years and years ago, we learned from
Phyllis.
From Phyllis and from her family. And Justin has been a really good friend of ours, and his wife, their kids, and their other son, Aaron, and her husband,
She
Michael.
was the one who first explained to me how the government incentivized black families to divorce by giving money to those who were single and not to those who were married.
Right, and they're very involved. She was one of the people that volunteered to read the Obamacare bill in our area before. Remember how Nancy Pelosi, we have to pass it to find out what's in it.
So
they had to have volunteers.
Volunteers to read through it because there's so many pages.
Incredibly intelligent. So when it comes to us talking about supporting Israel and stuff like that, like this is our life. We don't just say it. We just, this is who we are. We know these people in and out, and so we're living the farming. We have just kind of been. Leah, go ahead and go get your stuff. What have you been doing today? Let's show them what you have been doing today. Leah keeps us in baked goods. There's a bicycle that we have downstairs that Kansas, and we've talked about Justin, the young man that was able to come off of heroin, that's in our life. He was able to help build this bicycle that helps Leah grind and mill flour.
This is my Kopfendorf. So in here we have pretzel rolls.
Why would you bring these out here? Because you don't like it when I eat on camera.
I have a lot of things that I make.
But she hates it when I eat in front of you guys. She really hates it. Like, it's bad. But I haven't eaten. So she's not here. She's made pretzels. Yummy pretzels. She bicycled. How long were you on that bicycle grinding the grain today? An hour. She comes up. She's covered in sweat. And I'm like, you're disgusting. You're vile. But thank you. She's baking bread. There's more.
There's a lot more.
But wait, there's more. So while Lee is doing all this, I can explain to you why is it important that we grind our own grain at home? Why can't you just buy flour at the store?
This is cinnamon monkey bread.
It's delicious. It's hot. It smells good. Why are you doing this to me? We're filming. This is cruel and unusual. The flour at the store is, not only is it bleached, and bleached white flour is just as good as eating cardboard. It's actually worse because it's really bad for you. It has pesticides and chemicals and stuff all over it. But your body needs whole wheat to digest. But what is so, I want to say, magical about freshly ground grains is that there are nutrients that are life-giving. And these are cookie bars.
These are Michelle's breakfast.
I live lunch, dinner.
They are chocolate chip cookie bars, but they're really healthy and they're healthier. Like you go to the store and you eat a muffin or something. Whereas your flour from the store, the nutrients.
Tell them about how
milled. The nutrients have a half life and then like a no life, pretty much. There's riboflavin and vitamin B's and proteins when you freshly grind wheat.
And it will dissipate within 3 days if it is not frozen or refrigerated.
The nutrients, you still have the fiber, right? You still have the calories. And so what happens at the grocery store is they separate the wheat from the bran, and you're left with pretty much just this empty calorie that has it fills your stomach, but it doesn't nourish your body.
And nutritional value.
And so we ferment wheat, we let it sit there for, at least 8 to 12 hours, and then
you mean your dough?
The dough, and you can break down the phytic acids, which makes it highly digestible.
You can make sourdough breads.
We've got our pasture-raised eggs in there. I use these chocolate chip cookies. I use small. I actually don't use all the butter required for cookies. I use half or less than half, a third, and then I use the rest with yogurt.
That you make at home?
Yeah.
And this is not just a chocolate, I'm going to guess.
Carob.
I think you use carob powder.
Yeah, and
there's a cool story about that in the Bible. When John the Baptist was in the wilderness eating locusts and honey,
he was most likely consuming carob powder. There's a locust tree, and it's called the honey locust. And you can almost live off of it. It's highly nutritious, and it tastes a lot like chocolate and has a little sweetness to it, and it grows in the Middle East. And it's actually in Israel and in the Middle East. It's called St. John's bread.
And the reason why John wouldn't have been eating locusts is real locusts.
They can't eat locusts because it's a plague, and you're not allowed to eat a plague. It would have been unclean.
He wouldn't have been eating a plague as a Jewish man.
So anyways, this is highly nutritious, highly dense, nutrient-dense food that can get you through the day. It gives you not just calories, but it gives you energy that you can get through the day. That's why I encourage everybody, if you can get a mill, to grind your own wheat, get the nutrients. And if you get flour from the store, try to get it as fresh as possible. Throw it in the freezer.
So it'll retain its
exactly. That's why when we pray, give us this day our daily bread.
They were making their bread every single grinding it daily.
Even Job, there's a scripture: should my wife grind another man's grain? And so it's God. It kind of knows what He's doing. When they call bread wheat the staff of life. Now, I could go through a whole big thing. I think I have before. Modern wheats have been hybridized. They've got Roundup on them. A lot of people are allergic. A lot of people are gluten-free, and so a lot of people stay away from gluten. Fortunately, no one in our house is gluten-free, so we can embrace the bread that God has given us. The Old Testament is full of bread. Jesus is the bread of life.
Absolutely.
And there is life in bread.
So we have
literally survive on bread alone.
Let's answer a couple of questions, because what I think I'm going to do, we were going to do a segment of our mail call and what we've been up to, and I think we're just going to break it up into two different segments.
Sure.
So I have a little bit longer time to talk here than we had originally planned for, because I want to talk to you about gluten-free and gluten intolerance while we're here.
You want to tell about our bet?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. But there's a lot of people in today's day and age that are freshly developing a gluten intolerance.
Right.
And it's getting worse and worse and worse. Well, have people always been gluten intolerant and we just didn't recognize the symptoms? You know what I mean? Like, and the Bible does talk about wheat and bread. There was the show bread, and the Bible really is, surrounded around bread. There's unleavened bread, but it all requires wheat. Well, Leah and Michelle,
Or
I'm
barley or rye.
I'm gluten intolerant. What can I do?
Right.
If I can't have, there are some grains that you can have that are gluten free that you could grind yourself and get at the store. But my point is, you're not most celiac disease and gluten intolerance is probably an allergic reaction
to the chemicals sprayed.
like Roundup that are sprayed upon the wheat fields.
What you don't know is in order to dry them real fast, they literally spray Roundup on wheat.
Right.
And so there's the glyphosate is known to be like an endocrine disruptor.
Right.
And we have a vet, and he loves bread, but he can't eat it because he's gluten intolerant, and he breaks out in this huge red rash. Well, he was going on a biking trip in France, and he said, "I don't care what I look like or what what
I
happens.
love bread. I'm just going to
eat it." He could eat all the bread he wanted in France.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not exactly sure if it's because they don't spray their wheat with Roundup, or if it's a different kind of wheat. We've tried to Google it. I've given him my bread. He said it was good, and I don't know if he broke out as much. I think
Right.
it's from the store.
Right.
So,
well, unfortunately, even the wheat that we get is still kind of might be sprayed with the.
Well,
the
we get
chemicals and
organic
stuff. We
wheat.
get organic as best as possible, but then you still have the overspray and things like that.
Exactly.
There's no way to be 100% sure
so
on that.
fortunately, with you guys in Europe, you're better off as
Yes.
far as wheat goes.
Absolutely, but you
And
should still
bread.
be grinding it at home so that you can have that
So
fresh.
you're pretty good to go to the bakery, because I know that they still bake bread
Freshly
there
there.
freshly with better ingredients, less ingredients, and
The less ingredients that are in something, the better. We, at our grocery stores, if we buy like Italian spaghetti sauces that literally are imported, the ingredients are just very, very little.
When we buy Italian imported pasta,
Very little ingredients.
But
But when we look at the things like the Prego and the ragu and all that stuff, the ingredients are really long and there's a lot of sugars and really bad things in it. So
yeah, definitely food in Europe is healthier,
Right.
Bar none.
Yeah.
Especially because you still have some of the bakers who bake fresh bread every day. Whereas here, I mean, the grocery store bread is this white bread. I don't even know if you guys have the fluffy bread. We had a friend come here from Germany, and he saw a loaf of fresh bread, bread from the store. And
Like
he's
a white flour.
"This isn't bread. This is bread. It's got to be thick. It's got to be dense and fill you up."
Right.
Right.
You can't get filled up on like a Sunbeam loaf of pre-sliced.
That's
bread.
It has no nutrients in it whatsoever.
So also yesterday we often get a truckload of horse manure from a local friend, and Kansas gets in the back of the truck often. He'll scoop it into the wheelbarrow, and then Leah and I wheelbarrow it all over the yard and garden. We put it in the pig pens. We put it in the gardens.
Well, it's a way of making sure that our pigs are eating fresh food, because horses eat grass, and it goes right through them, and it comes out in a puck that's very much just like grass. If you want,
It's like a little alfalfa tablet.
If you deal with
essentially.
any kind of manure, horse manure is the best, because it's just grass. It's
Right.
you can just touch it with your hand. It doesn't.
And
even,
they eat it, and guess what? It's okay. It's actually a good thing.
It is very good for them. Yeah. So we do
We were
that. and then-
unloading manure. I had to do bookkeeping. I do our bookkeeping once a month.
And
I did that. It
Matt
takes me about
was
4
helping
hours.
out a friend of ours with plumbing. So these are the different things that we are doing every day, and we practice what we preach. And so we're not always able to film, especially as the summer and the spring. But we're praying
We're
that
going to do the best we can, and we may try to just go live a little bit more. We're thinking about that. We had thought about doing it twice on Monday and Tuesday, but then it just,
that's really fun. The last time we did that with you guys interacting with us, so we do want to be able to do that, and then we don't have to upload it either. So it's like a win-win.
It is a win-win situation, but this takes a lot of time, and we are dedicated. We want to stay with you guys even through our busy season for pet sitting, even through our busy season coming up in the summer. But we may cut back just a little bit on the videos, not a lot, but just enough for us to be able to kind of have some wiggle room. But feel free to continue to send us emails so that you can get a hold of us. But this is what we've been doing, and we're going to try to bring you more farm videos as well, especially as the weather gets nice. You know what I mean? And we should give you another live video probably out with the pigs, but hopefully this is enough to get you by for now. So we're going to wrap up this, and then we're going to bring you the mail call here in a minute. So this is Leah and Michelle Signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it's not a conspiracy theory if you can make your own food. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring the bell for notifications and find us on Facebook and Twitter. We love you guys. God bless.
If you want to pretzel things, make things kind of taste like a pretzel, you can either boil your dough in baking soda water or brush baking soda water on top and it tastes like a pretzel.
There's your tip for the day.
I was cold all alone, no place for home every day, so afraid, but you go